I was reading the Bible and listening to gospel music, praying for a new virginity, when I came across this particular video called Steve Harvey Loses It After Wife's Shocking Affair with Bodyguard. Now, this is very interesting because it comes from a channel by the name of Zuri's T, which only has 1,570 subscribers. So I was like, what the hell are they talking about? But then this clip was pretty interesting. Let's check it out.
In a surprising development that has reverberated across the entertainment industry, there are swirling rumors suggesting that Marjorie Harvey, the elegant spouse of Steve Harvey, may be engaged in a sensational affair with none other than Steve's personal bodyguard, William Big Boom Freeman. In case you're not familiar with him, an inquiry conducted by Radar Online has unveiled unsettling facts about Freeman's background. It has come to light that Freeman, who serves as Harvey's trusted aide, has a troubling history as a former pimp and openly acknowledges mistreating women.
It deals with little situations like this, and I thought I'd ask them to come out and help me.
As stated in his personal website biography, Freeman openly acknowledges that he once engaged in exploiting women to satisfy his desire for power and self-assurance during his days as a pimp. He asserts that he has since transformed his life, presenting himself as a respected speaker, author, and celebrity bodyguard. Freeman's biography underscores his proficiency in delivering either overt or discreet protective services to prominent clients, based on the level of threat or potential risk.
Yes, with Morgan. It was just so many men. Darnell. It was so many men. Like, I'm just like, damn, Marjorie.
So guys, again, it does seem like a stretch, and it probably isn't that true. Or, can I get a dun 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 sound effect? Maybe it is. But I want to go back to this original clip that got really under the skin of many black men when Steve Harvey went to the Shannon Sharpe show. Let's check that out.
See, these dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
Now, see, this is what I want to deal with for a lot of guys. And again, I like the fact that Steve Harvey has a come-up story, and most of us have a come-up story. I mean, fortunately enough for the most of us, we come from a Western world developed country. For an example, the United States of America, where you can literally live in poverty and you have an easier chance of becoming very successful and very rich, you know, basically depending on your talents and work ethic, you know, in comparison to a country like, you know, Uganda or someplace and, you know, anywhere in the developed world. So that's one thing that's great. It's awesome that as a man, you can pull yourself out of that situation. But here is something that I have learned on my journey myself. You see, Steve Harvey is the guy that feels like women don't need to bring anything to the table. And how do we know that that's true? Well, first of all, her first husband was a convicted drug dealer. He did like 26 years in prison. And then how does she show her loyalty? She went and got with his cousin and had Lori Harvey, right? That's how much respect she had for the first guy. And then as a man, you go out there and you become super successful, and then you wife her up, 2 kids by 2 different guys. One of the guys is the cousin, and he's admitted, the first husband admitted this, like, yeah, that's exactly what she did. The thing is, why did you go and work so hard for that just to end up with somebody like this? And to be fair, Steve Harvey had other wives in his life that he cheated on and lied to get with the lady that pretty much almost did the same thing, if not worse, to her previous husbands. So now the situation is this. What precedents did you set for her as rules of engagement for her to follow you? And this is what a lot of guys get about having money. Money is great to have. It is great to have a successful career. It is great to be a man that's worried about taking care of business. It's great to be a leader. But the one thing that you forget is that your leadership is not on sale for money. Okay. And this is not just my idea. I used to hear Simple to P say it. And again, I think that the first person to probably say it is even Gorgeous Dre. I want to give him a shout out, right? Because Gorgeous Dre, he says one thing that's very, 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 very clear. You got to be a man first. And that's something that I think a lot of guys in the square community, we're really missing out on, right? I hear Simple to P say it, I hear Free say it, I hear Gorgeous Dre say it. So I don't know who says it first, but Gorgeous Dre, again, you know, he's the one that's the OG and he's been saying these things, but this is the true thing. You got to be a man first. And if you're a man that's leading based on your examples and your ability to have money, and then there's no respect for you, it's not going to matter about your money at any point. Let's give you a clear example of what we're talking about. Rewind, Nima. April 2022. We saw the greatest mental breakdown in the history of the Oscars. All right. Now, here's Will Smith, a man. Can I get a cha-ching sound effect, Nima? A man with a lot of money, more money than all of us watching this video combined, possibly. Over a net worth of $350 million. That is a lot of money. I mean, if you want to talk about women finding him attractive, he got that covered too, right? He has everything that the world can buy. But there's one thing that he's missing. He's missing respect from his wife. Now, all of that money, being affluent, having a circle, if that was the case, Will Smith wouldn't have went up and did what he did to Chris Rock. But he did so because he's broken. Why is he broken? Because he never established any rules of engagement. All his relationship has been based off of is his clout, his money, and no respect. She don't need to respect him. And also, she can do almost anything she would like to Will Smith, and we would probably believe that he would never want to leave her. He's not strong enough to leave her. He's not strong enough to set any rules of engagement to say, if you do X, Y, and Z, then I'm not going to deal with you no more. But the thing is, he's not making her become somebody for him. And it's like the pimpin' said, you ain't got no game for her, right? You're not taking her to another level. The reality is this. A man like Steve Harvey, it was nothing he could be gained dealing with Marjorie Harvey. Nothing. She's already showing that she wasn't loyal. And he's no different than the other guy she had, except for the fact that he wasn't a drug dealer and he didn't get locked up. And he didn't require her to become anybody. This is what we get as men. Like, you know, a lot of people, and I noticed this, you know, have my business in Africa, right? When you hire people or want them to be in your company, they don't come, you know, ready to produce. Just like the military. And shout out to Brother George Megan, he made this point. When you start off in the military, you're not ready to be a soldier yet. You have to be taught how to be a soldier. And one of the things as men is that when we are dealing with women and, you know, they have dealt with people before or any kind of system before, they need this sort of time for it to be developed and to understand what their role needs to be in situations and how they need to do X, Y, and Z. But a lot of times when you have money, then what happens? I mean, you see these guys getting disrespected all the time. They have all the money, these athletes. I mean, you see these YouTubers that go through that. Yeah, because it's about money and because you feel like you have accomplished something that they're not rules of engagement. Like, no, you need to respect me as a person just as much as I need to respect you as a person, and leave the money aside. Yeah, it's nice. I can take you to Dubai. Yeah, it's nice. I can take you to Rome. That's nice. I can buy you a bag or some sandals or some weaves. Stop the show. Y'all definitely want the weaves. But I can still be thirsty. I can still be desperate, and I can still be a turnoff, right? I still have to value myself. And as a woman, you need to value yourself. The problem with the Steve Harvey, he's never going to make that lady value who she is. So what was the point in getting that money anyway? And what does that mean? She can easily go deal with somebody else that don't got as much. And let me tell you this, right? I've always made the statement that most chicks that you are dealing with, if you're a really good guy, she always goes and mess with the guy. The next guy has lesser quality than you, right? And one thing is true is she probably can't get somebody who is like you. That's very true. But maybe she don't need somebody like you or me. And I always laugh when, you know, I see my chicks, you know, with the next dude and they be out there struggling. But it could be because he had more respect for himself than me. And maybe she didn't need a dude that made $200,000 a year. Maybe she needed a dude that would check her shit where it was and can respond more calmly and not be so emotional in many ways, in some cases that some of us was before, and he could keep his situation tight as a man and always operate within that masculinity. Maybe that's what she needed. And you know, and a lot of times that money can't buy that. Money can't buy how you react to things. Money cannot buy that. You know what I'm saying? And Steve Harvey, maybe he's such a simp that maybe the bodyguard is smashing. It wouldn't make it, because what fear would she have that he gonna leave? It could be the truth, right? And nothing worse than a simp than an older simp. And like I said, you don't have no rules of engagement. That could happen. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.